Dada Shang, Man Prabodh, verses 21 to 24. Kanchane kaya kur ka putla, nij sukh datara. Nuri Govind gaye mana, Ram naam paaye visram. बेवर बेसर में आई छो, घट घट में वासुदेव बसे। पूरी गोविंद गाए मना, गुरमुख सब में साई बसे। गुरमुख दर्शन एक जो करे, ना कोई बैरी ना कोई मीत। पूरी गोविंद गाए मना, एक एक प्रीतम करती। उस्तत निंदा एक कर जान, दुख सुख कंचन लोह समान। पूरी गोविंद गाए मना, एक साहिब सब में जान। पूरी गोविंद गाए मना, एक साहिब सब में जान। दादा श्याम।
दादा श्याम जिन पानी गुरन जी पड़ी, प्रेम सा प्रेम सा। जिन दर्शन गुरन जो खयो, नेम सा नेम सा। जिन वाणी गुरन जी पड़ी, प्रेम सा प्रेम सा। जिन दर्शन गुरन जो कयो, नेम सा नेम सा। सोन खाईंदो खता, सदा माणींदो मज़ा, जंहिंखे वाई गुरुअ जी ओट। सवे वैरी वरन लखे दुश्मन चरन, जंहिंखे नानक शाह जी ओट। तंहिंखे लॻंदी न काई चोट, सवे वैरी वरन लखे दुश्मन चढ़न, जंहिंखे नानक शाह जी ओट। जिन सेवा गुरन जी कई, प्रेम सा प्रेम सा। जिन सेवा गुरन जी कई, प्रेम सा प्रेम सा। तंहिंजो बेरो थींदो पार संसार मां, सार मां। ॾिसी वाह नथो तो सदा रंग में रतो, तंहिंखे मेवा मिलंदा नोट। सवे वैरी वरन लखे दुश्मन चरन, जंहिंखे नानक शाह जी ओट। तंहिंखे लॻंदी न काई चोट, सवे वैरी वरन लख दुश्मन चढ़न, जंहिंखे नानक शाह जी ओट। जिन बाणी गुरन जी पढ़ी, प्रेम सा प्रेम सा। जिन दर्शन गुरन जो कयो, नेम सा नेम सा। सोन खाईंदो खता, सदा माणींदो मज़ा, जंहिंखे नानक शाह जी ओट। सवे वैरी वरन लखे दुश्मन चढ़न, जंहिंखे नानक शाह जी ओट। तंहिंखे लॻंदी न काई चोट, जंहिंखे नानक शाह जी ओट। दादा श्याम।
श्रीमद् भगवत गीता अध्याय 12 श्लोक 13। श्रीमद् भगवत गीता अध्याय 12 श्लोक 13। वेर भाव खां जो रहे थो परे, ऐं सभिनी जो मित्र। अभिमान ममता बिना खिम्यावान, दयालु रहे जो सदा संतोषी। ऐं सुख में ऐं दुख में आहे जो समान, यतन में रतन जो रहे थो पके निश्चवारो। मन बुद्धि मुँह में जो अर्पण करे, सोई भक्त में जो प्यारो, सोई भक्त में जो प्यारो। जिजे की न कहीं खान कहीं खेत जारे, ऐं चिंता खुशी का न्यारो। हसद नाहि जंहिंखे न की क्रोध को, सोई भक्त मुंहिंजो प्यारो, सोई भक्त मुंहिंजो प्यारो। इच्छा रहित जो पवित्र चतुर जो, ऐं चिंता बिना जो करे थो सुधारो। फल जी इच्छा सब पिछी जो करे, सोई भक्त मुंहिंजो प्यारो, सोई भक्त मुंहिंजो प्यारो। बिना हर्ष ऐं द्वेष त्यागे थो जो भलो ऐं बुरो। चिंता रहित जो न उमेदूं अॾे, सोई भक्त मुंहिंजो प्यारो, सोई भक्त मुंहिंजो प्यारो। शत्रु मित्र ऐं मान अपमान, थधि गर्मी ऐं सुख दुख सभिनी में समाभाव रखे थो। रहे राज़ी सब ते, निंदा स्तुतिअ में साॻीअ रीत हले थो। धन दर मिल्कियत बिना, ऐं शांति को अस्थिर चित्त वारो। सब्र में रहे जो, सोई भक्त मुंहिंजो प्यारो, सब्र में रहे जो, सोई भक्त मुंहिंजो प्यारो। अमृत रूपी ज्ञान अमल में जो आने, सची अश्रद्धा वारो। वछे शरण मुंहिंजी, सोई भक्त मुंहिंजो प्यारो, सोई भक्त मुंहिंजो प्यारो। अमृत रूपी ज्ञान अमल में जो आने, सची अश्रद्धा वारो। वछे शरण मुंहिंजी, सोई भक्त मुंहिंजो प्यारो, सोई भक्त मुंहिंजो प्यारो। ओम तत्सत। ये श्रीमद् भगवत गीता उपनिषद ब्रह्म विद्या योग शास्त्र जो, श्री कृष्ण संवाद जो भक्ति योग वारो 12 अध्याय पूरो थियो।
मां मंगत Dada Sham. Vachan from Nuri Granth, page 886. Ahe pyar cha. Ahe pyar cha udaman. Udami kamal mukhre de niharan. Ahe pyar cha आसमान के पहुंचण जित चमके एहसान आहे प्यार छा पर्दा परे सब करे जित नुक्स सब मरे वनी उत विहण उत निहारण एक सूरत साफ खे ही सुञाणण एक महबूबन जे फिराक अंदर जेई होताक अल्लाह अथम लगा चाक कंदम केर पाक मर्द खुदा न सुञाणे कुफर दीन जो निर्मल निमाणो सदा जो आहे मिस्कीन मर्द खुदा आहे जीवन जी आस वनी गोल रखी दिल में गोरी प्यास मर्द खुदा आहे जीवन जी आस वनी गोल रखी दिल में गोरी प्यास Dada Sham.
Nuri Vachan in English. What is love? Love is flying. Flying and gazing at the lotus visage. What is love? Love is reaching the sky where radiates the mercy of the beloved. What is love? Love is to remove all the intervening wiles so that eliminated is all desire, and to go and sit there and gaze there and know the one and the only radiant and immaculate beloved. The separation from the beloved has caused me deep wound in the very depth of my being. Who will come and cure and sanctify me? A man of God knows neither religion nor blasphemy, but he is ever humble, pure, and unassuming. A man of God is the very aspiration of life, and go and seek him, keeping deep longing in your heart. Dada Sham.
Dada Sham, everybody. We welcome you all to our first satsang in the last month of the year 2021. As the year is drawing close, we would like to thank all the satsangis all over the world for joining us in our Flight of Faith satsangs, which are held every fortnight. Today, our Flight of Faith is in light of Sindhi Cultural Day, which was held on 5th December. And in light of Sacred 12th, our journey takes us to Atlanta, USA. We have amongst us a very dynamic lady. She humbly calls herself Dada's servant. She is the CEO of SVC Atlanta. She was the past president of the Sindhi Sabha of Georgia. She enjoys the simple beauties of life, which is nature and cooking. She's a nutritionist, motivational speaker, freelance writer, life coach, and also an blessed daughter, wife, mother, mother-in-law, and grandma. We welcome you, Mrs. Mehrotra from Atlanta. Thank you, Geeta Didi, for joining us today. Let's now begin with the first question. So tell us, Didi, when and where did you first meet our beloved Dada? And what was your first emotion when you met him?
Dada Sham. Gurudevam Sharanam Gacchami Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami Sangam Sharanam gacchami. Satsangam sharanam gacchami. Shri Shama Sundara sharanam gacchami. Gurudeva ji sharanam vartiya. Mithre dadal shaji sharanamu vartiya. Sangat ji sharanamu vartiya. Shri Shama Sundar ji sharanamu vartiya. I would like to first offer my gratitude to Dada for giving me this opportunity to fly with you all on the flight of faith straight to the Samadhi. It has been a while since we have gone to Pune, and I did not want to miss the opportunity to flying with you all who are so full of love, humility, love and devotion for Dada. It's also the sacred weekend of Dada's 12th day. And I'm so thankful to Didi and the Accra Sangat and the committee for giving me this opportunity and our committee, Atlanta committee, to join you all on this flight. I have come here only to receive your blessings, and maybe while we are flying, to share a few thoughts. And you first asked me where I met Dada. I met Dada in 1976, December, in Mysore, the town that I was born and grew up in. He came to Mysore for only 1 hour. And he came at the time when I was going through emotional hardship with dealing with the death of my aunt and my college principal and my pet dog. And I was also going through a lot of questioning at that time because I was searching for an answers to God and what is Guru. And my dad came in the afternoon for lunch, as he always had lunch at home, and took a nap and then went back to work. So he came that day and he told me, after lunch and tea, we are going to go meet one of the saints that has come to the town. One of the gurus, he said. He said, I'm not going to any guru. He'll be wearing orange clothes and he will ask me to jap Ram or Krishna. And you know, I don't like to jap Ram because the way he treated his wife, and Krishna, the way he manipulated so that Pandavas can win. So, you know, I'm not going to follow any of those and I have no interest in going. So he said, he kept on trying to convince me. And then finally he said, your guru has a right. Mm-hmm. It's a very unusual thing for a saint like him to come to a small town like Mysore. I said, I'm not going to follow any guru. I wanted to. Then he said, okay, if you have all these questions, I just want you to know he doesn't wear orange clothes. And he will not ask you to do the Jap Ram or Krishna. But I want you to know that he does have a school for women, that he helps poor women to be educated. And you want to educate the woman and you are interested in that. So maybe you can go ask him these questions, and you enjoy debates anyway. So why don't you go and find out answers from him, a good opportunity to practice your debate. So I thought, yeah, that makes sense. This would be a good opportunity to talk to him and say, convince him that I am thinking right. I had a hard time even going to the temples, because when you went into the temple, the pujari was given money, the arti was, in arti everybody gave money, but when they came out of the temple, what did they do, or what did we do? If there was a beggar, move on, move on. We pushed the beggar out, but we were willing to give 1 rupee to the arti, trying to get a favor from God. So there was that conflict in my heart that why waste money lighting a diya? Why not educate somebody? So with that, I went to Dada with my dad. And when I went there, I don't know what happened. All I did was cry, 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 cry through the whole hour. So there was no question of asking him any questions, arguing with him, nothing of that sort. And everybody was started looking at me, and I was feeling embarrassed too, because I was the only teenager in the group, and all were elderly ladies and elderly men. And so I was very awkward position, and I kept crying. And then after everything was over, the program was over, all I remember is Dada passing through me and touching his hand on my head and moving on.
Wow.
Father noticed that. So after the program, I was so tired, I just wanted to go home. Then my dad said, since you didn't get a chance to talk to him, do you think you want to buy some books so that maybe you can read more about him and find out about him? Reluctantly, I went because I just wanted to be by myself at that time. So Bau Pamu was there at the bookstall. He helped me choose the books because I didn't know what books to pick from such a big bookstore. You know, he helped me pick. Then my dad said, let's pick one picture of Sadhu Vaswani also. You can keep it on your desk. So I brought a picture of Big Dada with a shawl, that picture, and I kept it on the desk, and I would just, while studying, look at it. After that, that was it, you know. And then every time Dada came to Bangalore, my dad would find out about it, and then he would take me to Bangalore. So, and then one time I asked him, I said, Dad, do you think I'm doing the right thing, missing school and going to see Dada? He said, in a life, when you will have nobody and nothing will work for you, and you'll have no support, that's the time your guru will come to you. And so that is how my journey started. Then in 1980, I lost my father.
Okay.
And then I lost touch with Dada also. And so that is how the journey started, like that, ended like that. And then again in 82, I visited Pune with my family. And the contact started again. Dada Sham.
Oh, wow. So almost 40 years now, you know, Dada. Wow. I mean, you've blessed. Okay. Guru is love and discipline. Could you share something about this?
Yes, Dada is all love. And he is also disciplines us, but with love. It reminds me of a time when Dada came to Atlanta for the first time to our house. And I was so happy and excited. And we had arranged English program in Gwinnett Civic Center, which is now called Infinity Energy. And it was a theater style auditorium. So I was very excited that this style of theater, I thought maybe this was the first time that I would be addressing in the theater style, and the kirtan will sound like this. You get excited and you start imagining. And that's what I started doing. And then Dada, when he came, the program, when we reached there, the singers had not arrived. So, and the time was up for the program to start. And then I told Dada, that they're just one exit away. Give them 5 minutes, they will come and we can start the program. Dada did not say anything to me. He nodded heads, and Bob Gurbani, who was traveling with Dada, knew. And the first thing they did was they asked Didi Sheelu, who was traveling also, to start the Nuri Granth Vachan. So the Nuri Granth Vachan started, the program started, and the singers could not sing. So I was like, it's so important for Dada to start the program on time that he just went ahead. I was very disappointed because I was so excited about the singing part of the thing. But then I understood that what I was thinking was my excitement was also my ego. So he cut down that right away. And on the other hand, another incident which showed his love is one time Dada was leaving to the airport, and that time he was staying in Asha, that's another host of Atlanta. He was staying in her house. And since my son was sick, older son, Sean, was sick, my husband didn't want to leave him alone and come to the airport to see Dada off. And when Dada is around, I'm so excited and I'm so emotional that I don't drive. So I didn't want to drive, but I still wanted to go to the airport. Then my younger son, who's like, was at that time 7, 8 years old, he goes, Mom, I'll go with you in the morning to see Dada at the airport. Because he knew, and I was trying to find a ride and nobody was willing to give me a ride. So I went to Asha's house, and then from there, we went to the airport, and my driving was not as fast as Dada's car was. And you know, Dada's car, they drop him off at the gate, and then by the time we park in the parking lot and come, so it was a delay. And by then, we used to go to the gate where you could see the flights taking off. This was before 9/11. The flight, they are announcing, this is the last call. This is the last call for JP Vaswani, and Dada was not budging till I arrived. And he looked into my eyes, gave me that strength, and then he went into the flight.
Wow.
And he was willing to wait, even miss his flight, because I could hear being announced, you know, while I was running to him. And he was willing to do that, and that was his love. And so Dada had both sides. I mean, Dada Sham.
Has Dada helped you in any difficult situation? I mean, you just mentioned one, like it just happened that you reached on time and Dada was waiting for you. Like anything else, any difficult situation?
He has helped with several difficult situations. And, but the one that really comes to my mind is, like I told you, in 82, when I went to see Dada, and it just happened, my family, we were going to Mumbai, and we stopped in Pune without even planning to stop there. And that time I had lost my father, and I had totally lost faith in God, totally. I would not even say Om or Gayatri Mantra or anything. Otherwise, I was very used to saying my prayers.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing, because I felt if karma is all that it is, there's no need to pray to God. And I was so hurt that why God could not save my father when he used to pray constantly. So that was like total opposite, you know. So that was a difficult time for me. So when I went to Pune, again, Dadi Sati recognized, and she gave me an opportunity to go near Dada after the 9 o'clock satsang in the morning. And before even I could say anything to him about my father passing away, or I don't have faith, are you okay if I just do the seva, or will you still be okay with me being in touch with you without believing in God? So Dada put his hand on my head and held me for a while. I don't know how long he held it. And all I did again was cry, cry, cry. And when Dada left his hand, and he just left the room. And when I got up, there was no doubt, there was no questions about whether there is God or there is no God, or whether I will pray to God or not pray. My whole being felt God. So that was a very powerful experience. And the second thing that I had problem with was when I used to go do Shepa and come, I used to feel very drained, because every time I would come back with the feeling I didn't do enough. I should have worked harder and gotten more things for the needy. So when I would see their sad faces, I would pick up a lot of sadness also. So then Dada sent me one prayer, said, Lord, bless me, lay your hand upon me, guide me, use me, make me an instrument of thy help and healing in this world of suffering and pain. He said, recite this every day. So when I started reciting this every day, it just clicked one day. It is thy help and healing, not my help and healing. Before it was like, I am helping, so I didn't do enough. But if it is thy help and healing, I detached in that moment of that realization while I was praying. So yes, he helped me with that situation.
What quality of Dada drew you to him?
His loving presence. When you are in Dada's presence, you're not thinking what quality he has, what quality he doesn't have, or this is good quality of Dada. Nothing of that sort. It's just Dada. My thoughts are not there to think what qualities he. I never thought what qualities he has, what qualities he doesn't have. So his loving presence, Dada Sham.
Okay. And you just mentioned that you were not believing in God for some time. But what about now? How has Dada changed your relationship with God? Can you elaborate a bit about that?
At first, there were questions about Dada. Then my second time when I met Dada was, God is here and now. And from there, he took me to another level when he came to US for the third time, when I met him. The third time when I met him, he was coming to New York and other places. But before I found out about his visit, after having been touched by Dada in 82, I started longing for him. So one night I just said, Dada, you say that Bilini Ram went. Let me see if you can come here for me. And the next morning when I woke up, it was in the Indian paper that for the first time, Dada Vaswani is visiting US.
Oh.
So then New York, times were not working out to visit him. I wanted to visit him. It was not working out. Then I said, Dada, you say to surrender to God, right? So I'm surrendering to you. I have not planned your trip. Now you take me to now you bring me to yourself. Deena Bandhu Dinanath, Meri Dori, Tere Haath. And the next thing I know is my husband's office is telling him that he needs to go to Miami for a work. Same dates that Dada is in Miami. So I go, my husband said, okay, I'm at work anyway. You can come along with me. One ticket is taken care of. All I'll do is buy you another ticket. And I had 10 months old son, Shan. So I said, yeah, we'll go. And when he goes to buy the ticket from an Indian travel agent, because he had just opened, he tells him that I'll charge your money to the office, but I'll give you a free ticket for your wife.
Wow.
Didn't charge any money. So then now God became real. So now it's your personal connection. It's not about worshiping. It's not about it. Prayer is your outpouring of your heart to God. It's your connection with him. So he's very much, and after having Dada in our life, I feel like I've already met my God. So Guru Gobind dono khade kaake lagu paaye. Balihari mein Guru ki jin Gobind diyo dikha bataye. Dada Sham.
Super. Which other thought of the day Dada shared with you, which left a place in your heart?
Two thoughts. In Bhagavad Gita, it says to be some bhav, right? So even we hear every time we have satsang, Big Dada's Bhagavad Gita says saman bhav, you have to be in saman bhav. So I asked Dada, how can one become saman bhav? Dada said, Niya bhi sajanam vava, hua bhi sajanam vava. Gratitude to thee, O Lord, if it happens this way. Gratitude to thee, O Lord, if it happens that way. So gratitude opens the door towards being a balanced person. And another thing that has always stayed in my heart is, for the first time when Dada came to our house, at night, he gave me a clock with one side was Big Dada's picture, on the other side was the clock. It had no battery in it. So when I opened it, Dada asked me, is it working? I said, no, Dada, it's not working. There's no battery. I said, in spite of it, it'll tell you correct time twice. One in the morning, 10 a.m., suppose, and night 10 a.m. It still tells you correct time. So he shifted my attention when things are not working. There are moments that are still working. So those two have stayed strongly, but there are so many, but for the time being, two I wanted to share. Dada Sham.
How important is satsang and seva according to you?
Not according to me. As you know, at first, for me, satsang was not important. Seva was more important. But according to Dada, satsang and seva are both important. They are the two wings that help us to fly. Like two wings of the bird that help us to fly. Now, seva is something that you do for others, and you're making deposits in your own life, field of life. Satsang is you cultivate your soul. It helps you to connect with God. And then satsang itself becomes seva. Because even when you're praying for somebody, that's still a seva. So they seem to appear separate, but they end up meeting at one time. Either some would start with satsang first, for others seva first. See, it's like this. People go to temple, right? They love God. But with Guru, you learn how to listen to God. And then he also disciplines you that you have to come to satsang at this time. The satsang will close at this time. We have to do this seva. So that discipline, but if you go to temple, you go anytime you feel like going, you don't feel like going, you don't do, or you offer some money and give it to the pujari to do something and come back. But with satsang, gives you time to connect with God. So both are important.
Sindhi Cultural Day is a popular Sindhi cultural festival, also known as Ekta Jo Diyaru, the Day of Unity. It is widely celebrated with traditional enthusiasm to spotlight the centuries of old rich culture of Sindh. This day is celebrated all over Sindh and amongst the Sindhi diaspora around the world. Do you have any memories with Dada that reminds you how much he valued Sindhi unity and language?
Dada Sham. We Sindhis are very proud that we have succeeded, we have done well, and other communities are also aware that we have succeeded from the time we have come through partition. But our Sindhi saints are the backbone for that. They have supported us, they have prayed for us, they have guided us. And we are blessed that we had Dada in our life.
Definitely.
For Dada, every Sindhi Rurihan, he reminded us of three things. First is gratitude. Second is speak Sindhi. Speak Sindhi because Sindh language is the root for the culture. The culture will not survive if the language is not alive. And Sindhi literature has such vast treasures of Sindh saints that those treasures will be lost. So he always insisted that we speak Sindhi. He didn't insist, he encouraged us. He said with loving. And how lovingly he used to say, Munja pyara bhavara venaru. That line itself, was such he made us into one family, like brothers and sisters. And then the third thing that he emphasized was unity. Dada said, if we Sindhis will unite, sky is the limit. And so unity is very important. And today is also Sai Rochaldasa's Varsi Day, who always he always prayed that we go into silence. And Dada used to quote Sai Rochaldas very often, Jibba Roko, Deed Ladao. So once I asked Dada, I said, Dada, you tell us to go into silence. And then you want us to learn Sindhi also. If we eventually have to go into silence, what's the point of learning Sindhi? He said, because until we go into total silence, we also have a duty towards our community. We have to also not only do our personal duties, but we have duty towards our community. I remember there was one time there was a choice between an English program and a Sindhi program because Dada only came for one day. And Dada said, we were thinking Dada will go for the English program because you get a bigger audience in the English program. And for the Sindhi Rurihans, Atlanta has a smaller community. So we were trying to go for the English program. Dada said, no. मां पंहिंजे भाउरनि भेनरुनि सां मिलण खां सवाइ कीअं वेंदुमि शहर छॾे करे? I have to meet them. So one on one, and he said something. असां सिंधी पखरियल विछरियल आहियूं. We are spread out and separated. And we have to meet them. हाल अहवाल वठणु खपे. So he would rather, then we were telling him that we'll get a bigger audience. We're trying to convince him. He said, "Man, vada kam na karana aaya, man nanda kam karana aaya." How humble. He was willing to, he was not looking for a bigger audience. He was looking to help us. And Dada also emphasized, both the Dadas emphasized, unity not only among Sindhis, but also among Indians. India has to unite in order for it to grow. Then the Dada went one step further. Not only India has to unite, all nations have to unite. And not only all nations have to unite, we have to include animals, birds also in the family. Not only animals and birds, even trees and stones have to be included in the family. So the big Dadas, Sadhu Gurudev, Sadhu Vaswani thought, children of the earth, ye all are one. Dada Sham.
With this, we come to an end with a beautiful. We thank you, Didi, for gracing us on our satsang today. All the thoughts and memories you have shared about Dada are truly, truly priceless. The lessons learned intensifies our faith towards our Guru, our dear master, our Dada. I would like to end with a quote of Dada. Truth is not learned nor stolen from books. Truth is revealed to the seeker in the fullness of time. God, the great Guru, is the revealer of the truth. The Gurus are path pointers and show how to receive the revelation. Before we proceed to hear Dada's Updesh, let us all listen to a soulful bhajan in memory of our Gurudeva, Dada Sham.
Krishna, Muri Krishna, Krishna, Muri Krishna, Krishna, Muri Krishna, Krishna, Pyare Krishna, Krishna, Muri Krishna, Krishna, Muri Krishna, Krishna, Muri Krishna, Krishna, Pyare Krishna, tum ho, tum ho, tum ho, tum ho, tu kahe main चिंता करूं, तुम हो, तुम हो, तुम हो, तुम हो, तुम हो, तो काहे मैं चिंता करूं। सौंप दी मैंने मेरी जीवन नैया, सौंप दी मैंने मेरी जीवन नैया, कृष्णा तू ही संभाले पार लगा दे, तू ही संभाले पार लगा दे, ओ मेरे केवैया, ओ मेरे केवैया, ओ मेरे केवैया, ओ मेरे केवैया। कृष्णा मोरे कृष्णा, कृष्णा प्यारे कृष्णा, कृष्णा मोरे कृष्णा, कृष्णा प्यारे कृष्णा, कृष्णा 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 कृष्णा, तुम हो तो काहे मैं चिंता करूं, दादा 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 दादा, तुम हो तो काहे मैं चिंता करूं, दादा 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 दादा, तुम हो तो काहे मैं चिंता करूं। हरे कृष्ण दादा श्याम, 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 दादा श्याम 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 दादा श्याम, हरे कृष्ण दादा श्याम, दादा श्याम दादा श्याम दादा श्याम दादा श्याम, हरे कृष्ण दादा श्याम, दादा श्याम।
मुंहिंजा प्यारा भाउरो, मुंहिंजूं भेनरूं, गुरुदेव जे कमल कदमनि में सिर झुकायां थो। तव्हां सभिनि प्यारनि वास्ते, सभिनि वास्ते आसीस पिना थो, ऐं तव्हां मां हिक हिक जे चरणनि में सिर झुकायां थो। हिन तव्हांजे दास वास्ते दुआ पिना थो। मुंहिंजा प्यारा भाउरो, मुंहिंजूं भेनरूं, हिक ॾींहुं प्यारे दादा खां, प्यारे साधू वासवाणीअ खां सुवाल पुछियोसीं। कहिड़ो सुवाल? सुवाल पुछियोसीं, प्यारा दादा कृपा करे असांखे ॿुधायो त सचो ज्ञान छा आहे, परम ज्ञान छा आहे, सचो ज्ञान कहिड़ी चीज़ आहे, असांखे जेकर सम्झायो। प्यारे दादा जा जवाब ॾाढा सवला हूंदा हुआ। His answers were always brief, short and to the point. थोरा अखर प्यारो दादा असांखे ॿुधाईंदो हो, पर असांजूं शंकाऊं खिन में दूर थी वेंदियूं हुयूं। सचो ज्ञान छा आहे प्यारा दादा, परम ज्ञान छा आहे प्यारा दादा। ऐं प्यारे दादा चयो, परम ज्ञान आहे परूर पाइण, त मां कुझु कीन आहियां, मां कुझु कीन आहियां, मुंहिंजो प्रभु सभु कुझु आहे। मां कुझु कीन आहियां, मुंहिंजो प्रभु सभु कुझु आहे। तूं सिज पियो चिमकी, मां हिकु किरणो, तूं समुंद्र सागर, मां हिकु बूंद हिकु फुरो। जॾहिं इहा परूर पवे थी, गीत त असीं घणे ॻाईंदा आहियूं, उत्साह में भरिजी ताड़ियूं वॼाईंदा आहियूं, इहे खरताल भराईंदा आहियूं, पर जॾहिं इहा परूर पवे, when this becomes a matter of realization, जॾहिं इहा परूर पवे, मां कुझु कीन आहियां, मां कुझु कीन आहियां, मुंहिंजो प्रभु त सभु कुझु आहे। ना हम तू हो, तू हो। इहे अखर जॾहिं तव्हांजे दिलि जे ऊन्हाईअ मंझां उथनि, न फ़क़ति चपनि मंझां, न फ़क़ति कंठ मंझां, पर दिलि जे ऊन्हाईअ मंझां, प्रभु मां त कुझु कीन आहियां, मां त कुझु कीन आहियां, तूं सभु कुझु आहीं। तूं सिज पियो चिमकी, मां हिकु किरणो, तूं समुंद्र सागर, मां हिकु बूंद हिकु फुरो। इहा परूर जॾहिं मां पायां थो, तॾहिं मां ज्ञान जे मंज़िल खे प्राप्त करियां थो। संत रामकृष्ण केतिरा भेरा पंहिंजनि डिसाइपल्स, पंहिंजनि डेवोटीज़ खे चवंदो हो, पंहिंजनि शिष्यनि खे चवंदो हो त इहो मंत्र, इन जो पाठ तव्हीं वरी वरी करियो। न मां कुझु कीन आहियां, आई एम नथिंग, thou art the all। मां कुझु कीन आहियां, प्रभु तूं सभु कुझु आहीं, तूं सभु कुझु आहीं, तूं सभु कुझु आहीं। प्यारो दादा वरी वरी चवंदो हो न, ख़ुदी विञायो ख़ुदा खे पायो, ख़ुदी विञायो ख़ुदा खे पायो। असांजी ख़ुदी गुम थी वञे, असीं ख़ुदा खे हली पायूं। आपो गमायो शाम खे पायो। तव्हीं पंहिंजो आपो विञायो, मां जा वीचार फिटा करियो, यकदमि राणो तव्हांजे रूबरू। पर छो त असां इहा दीवार, इहो पर्दो असां पंहिंजे ऐं प्रभुअ जे विच में खणी खड़ो कयो आहे। मां जो पर्दो, आपे जो पर्दो, अहंकार अभिमान जो पर्दो असां पंहिंजे विच में खणी खड़ो कयो आहे। असीं पंहिंजे प्रीतम, पंहिंजे महबूब खे, जो हर हंधि हाज़ुर नाज़ुर आहे, असांजे नज़दीक आहे, पर असीं कंहिंखे ॾिसी नथा सघूं। असां पाण खे अंधो करे छॾियो आहे। आपे जे असर हेठि अची, अभिमान जे असर हेठि अची, असां पाण खे सूरदास करे छॾियो आहे। असीं ॾिसी नथा सघूं, असीं सूरदास आहियूं। असीं पाण खे सम्झूं पिया त असांखे अखियूं आहिनि, असांखे नृत आहे, असांजूं अखियूं ॾिसी सघनि थियूं। न न न न, असीं ॾिसी नथा सघूं। असीं जेके ॾिसूं पिया सो सभु कूड़, सच खे ॾिसी नथा सघूं, हक़ीक़त खे ॾिसी नथा सघूं। असीं त सूरदास चइबासीं न। प्रभुअ खे कीअं पायूं, प्रभुअ खे कीअं पायूं। संत सतपुरख दरवेश फ़क़ीर प्रभुअ जा प्यारा असांखे चवनि था, जे प्रभुअ खे पाइणु चाहियो त मुंहिंजा प्यारा तूं सिख रम्ज़ वजूद विञावण दी। इहो गीत अॻे भेनरूं वरी वरी ॻाईंदियूं हुयूं, हींअर विसारे छॾियो अथनि। सिख रम्ज़ वजूद विञावण दी। इहो वजूद, इहा हस्ती, इहो आपो असांखे विञाइणो आहे। इहा रम्ज़ सिखणी आहे। इन करे गुरूअ जी ज़रूरत आहे। गुरू असांखे इहा रम्ज़ सेखारे थो त असीं कीअं पंहिंजी हस्ती गवायूं, पाण खे विञायूं। ॾिसो नंढी वॾी ॻाल्हि ते हिक ॿिए सां कीअं नची था तकरार करियूं। छो त असांजी हस्ती, मूंखे छा घटि सम्झो अथई छा। असीं ॿ ॼणा पाण में कमु वेठा करियूं, गॾु वेठा कमु करियूं, नंढी वॾी ॻाल्हि ते सम्झी छा थो, पाण खे छा थो सम्झी, मां को घटि आहियां। हा प्यारा, मां घटि आहियां, तूं वधाई, तूं जीअं चाहीं तीअं तूं कर। सिख रम्ज़ वजूद विञावण दी। ख़ासि करे कम जे प्लेन ते इहे ॻाल्हियूं वरी वरी थींदियूं आहिनि। असां वरी उत्सव वॾा थींदा आहिनि न, पोइ मां इहे ॻाल्हियूं वरी वरी ॿुधंदो आहियां। मां इहे ॻाल्हियूं वरी सम्झी छा थी, ख़ासि करे भेनरूं हिते घणो कमु थियूं कनि, भाउ त पंहिंजे आनंद में ईंदा आहिनि, रुगो लंगर खाइण। इन करे उन्हनि खां कोन ॿुधो अथमि इहो त भेनरूं जेके वीचारियूं कमु कनि थियूं, पोरियो कनि थियूं, महिनत कनि थियूं, पोइ वरी वरी ॾिसंदो आहियां नंढी वॾी ॻाल्हि ते हिक ॿिए सां टकरिजी पवंदियूं। सम्झी साथी, वरी वरी तोखे चयो अथमि, वरी वरी तूं नथी सम्झी। सिख रम्ज़ वजूद विञावनंदी। उन वक़्तु असीं पाण खे इहा रुगो हिकु तुक सम्झायूं, सिख सिख रम्ज़ वजूद विञावनंदी। परम ज्ञान आहे निमिरता, परम ज्ञान आहे निमिरता। इन खां वधीक ॿियो को ज्ञान अथव ई की न। परम ज्ञान आहे निमिरता, निमाणा थियूं, निमाणा थियूं। प्यारे दादा जुदा जुदा नमूननि में इहा असांखे सिख्या ॾियण जी कोशिशि कई, निमाणा थियो, निमाणा थियो। प्यारो दादा वरी वरी चवंदो त हीउ सत्संग जेकर थी पए निमाणनि जो सत्संग। कॾहिं की न प्यारे दादा चयो त हीउ सत्संग थी पए ज्ञानियुनि जो सत्संग। छो जो जेकॾहिं न मां सम्झां थो त मां ज्ञानी आहियां त पाण अभिमान उथे थो अंदरि मां, निमाणा थी पऊं। असीं कुझु की न आहियूं प्रभु, तूं सभु कुझु आहीं। नाहम नाहम तू हो तू। जॾहिं इंसान जी इहा अवस्था थिए थी, उहो इंसान औज़ार थी पवे थो प्यारे प्रभुअ जो। उन हिकु इंसान जे द्वारा प्रभु केॾा कम करे थो। प्यारो दादा साधू वासवाणी केॾो न निमाणो, केॾो न निमाणो। प्यारे दादा साधू वासवाणीअ जे द्वारा अञा ताईं जेतोणीकि पंहिंजो शरीर त्याग करे अञा ताईं केॾा कम प्रभु वेठो करे। छो त प्रभुअ खे हिकु अहिड़ो निमाणो इंसान मिली वियो। गुरु नानक देव जिन निवृत जा रूप हुआ। वक़्तु की न अथमि, मां तव्हांखे केतिरियूं ॻाल्हियूं ॿुधायां। केॾी न निवृत गुरु नानक देव जिन। नानक नीच कहे वीचार। जस्ट इमेजिन, जो गुरु हो केतिरनि जो, पाण खे सॼे नीच। नानक नीच कहे वीचार। जेको निमाणो थिए थो उहो प्रभु जो औज़ार थी पवे थो। परम ज्ञान अथव निमाणो थियनि, परम ज्ञान अथव निवृत में वधनि। सॉक्रेटिस वटि आयो माण्हू, सुकरात जंहिंखे तव्हीं चवंदा आहियो, माण्हू आयो डोड़ंदो डोड़ंदो, चईंसि the oracle has spoken. oracle आहे डिवाइन वॉइस, प्रभुअ जो आवाज़। चईं प्रभुअ जे आवाज़ अॼु असांखे ॿुधायो। छा ॿुधायईं? that Socrates is the wisest person in all Greece. सॼे यूनान में ज्ञानियुनि में ज्ञानी आहे सुकरात। सुकरात खिलण लॻो, चई मां कीअं थींदुसि ज्ञानी, मां त ॼाणा कुझु की न। पोइ चईं बराबरि, चईं बराबरि। चईं ही जेको डिवाइन ईश्वरी आवाज़ आहे, जंहिं चयो आहे त सुकरात ज्ञानियुनि में ज्ञानी आहे, इन करे छो जो मां ई हिकिड़ो ॼणो आहियां सॼे ग्रीस में, सॼे यूनान में, जंहिंखे इहा परूर आहे त मां कुझु की न ॼाणा। ॿिया सभु कुझु न कुझु मिड़ई ॼाणनि, कुझु न कुझु मिड़ई ॼाणनि। प्यारो दादा ॿार वटि ॾींदा हुआ। प्यारो दादा ॿारनि सां केतिरियूं ॻाल्हियूं कंदो हो। पोइ कॾहिं कॾहिं खां पुछंदो तूं कहिड़ो दर्जो पढ़ी? को चवंदो मां चौथे में आहियां, को चवंदो मां 3 में आहियां, को चवंदो मां 1 में आहियां। पोइ पुछंदो मां कहिड़े दर्जे में आहियां? प्यारो दादा पाण बाबति पुछंदो मां कहिड़े दर्जे में आहियां? पोइ चवंदा तव्हां त दर्जा सभु पास करे, तव्हीं अलाए किथे, तव्हां यूनिवर्सिटीअ खां लंघे विया, तव्हीं त प्रोफेसर, तव्हीं त प्रिंस। चवंदो न, मां आहियां इन्फंट क्लास में, मां आहियां बेबी क्लास में। परम ज्ञान आहे निवृत, परम ज्ञान आहे निवृत। आइंस्टाइन वॾे में वॾो साइंसदान, त बि छा चवंदो? चवंदो दैट विच आई नो is so little compared to that which remains to be known. मां ॼाणा छा, कुझु की न ॼाणा। जेकी ॼाणणु खपे सो त वॾो सागर पियो आहे। शाहूकारीअ जो असांखे अभिमान आहे। शाहूकारी आहे छा? हिकिड़ो राजा भक्त हो, संत वटि अचे थो सिख्या वठण। संत मथे वेठो आहे पंहिंजे आसन ते, राजा अची ज़मीन ते वेहे थो। चएसि थो गुरुदेव मूंखे तव्हीं सिख्या ॾियो। पोइ गुरुदेव कहिड़ी थो सिख्या ॾिए, चवेसि थो त जेकॾहिं तूं अहिड़े कंहिं हंधि हुजीं जिते तूं उञ पियो मरी, बसि हींअर जे तोखे पाणी नथो मिले त तूं किरी पवंदे, मरी वेंदे। उन वक़्तु तोखे को माण्हू हिकिड़ो प्यालो गटर जो पाणी, गंदो पाणी, कसीअ जो पाणी, उहो प्यालो भरे तोखे अची ॾिए थो, चवे थो पर ही मां तोखे प्यालो ॾींदुसि जेकॾहिं इन जे बदिले में तूं मूंखे पंहिंजो अधु राज भाग ॾींदे। तूं वठंदे या न वठंदे? चईं साईं ज़रूरु वठंदुसि, न त मरी वेंदुसि न। उञ में मरां पियो, प्यासी थी मरां पियो, कहिड़ो बि पाणी मिले, मन मुंहिंजी उञ थोरी घटि त थिए न। चईंसि हाणे तो इहो गटर जो पाणी पीतो आहे, अधु राजबाग तो ॾेई छॾियो, गटर जो पाणी पीतो अथई, इहो पाणी वियो पेट में, तुंहिंजे अंदरि वञी रोग पैदा कयईं। तूं हींअर बीमारीअ जे बिस्तरे ते लेटियो पियो आहीं, मरण घड़ीअ ते अची पहुतो आहीं। हकीम तो वटि अचे थो, तोखे चवे थो राजन मां तोखे दवा ॾियां, जुआ तोखे चाकू करे छॾे, पर उन जे बदिले में बाक़ी जेको अधु राज भाग तुंहिंजो आहे सो तूं मूंखे ॾींदे। चईं उहो ॾींदुसि, ज़रूरु ॾींदुसि न। मोसि त पोइ पुठियां राजबाग कहिड़े कम जो थींदो, इन जो फ़ाइदो वठी वञा न, ज़रूरु ॾींदुसि। चईंसि त पोइ तुंहिंजो सॼो राज भाग, उन जो मुल्ह नेठ छा थियो? हिकिड़ो गटर जो पाणीअ जो प्यालो ऐं हिकिड़ी सुती जेका दवा तोखे मिले थी, या तोखे बीमारीअ मां छुटाए। तंहिंजो तोखे अभिमान छाजो आहे? हिकिड़ो गटर जे पाणीअ जो प्यालो ऐं हिकिड़ी दवा जा तोखे हकीम ॾे, कुल मुल्ह थियो तुंहिंजे राजबाग जो इहो। ॾिसो असांखे छा ते अभिमान आहे। पर वरी बि तव्हांजे चरणनि में सिर झुकायां थो, आसीस पिना थो त शल इहा संतनि जी सिख्या, प्यारे दादा जी परम सिख्या, प्यारे दादा जे सिख्या ते ज़ोर हूंदो, इन हिकु ॻाल्हि ते निमाणा थियो, निमाणा थियो, निमाणा थियो। शल तव्हां खां सिखां त निमाणो कीअं थिजे। मुंहिंजा प्यारा भाउरो, मुंहिंजूं भेनरूं, अहिड़ी आसीस हिन पंहिंजे दास ते कंदा। ओम ब्रह्म कृपा ही केवलम, कृष्ण कृपा ही केवलम, दादल कृपा ही केवलम। ओम शांति शांति शांति।
Time for Ardas now. प्रभु तेरी कृपा से सब काम हो रहा है, प्रभु तेरी कृपा से सब काम हो रहा है। करते हो तुम प्रभु जी, मेरा नाम हो रहा है। करते हो तुम प्रभु जी, मेरा नाम हो रहा है। प्रभु तेरी कृपा से सब काम हो रहा है। तकलीफ और तंगी में एक तू ही मददगार, उठाए है अंजलि के जन्मों के सारे बार। करता नहीं कुछ भी, सब काम हो रहा है। करते हो तुम ओ दादा, मेरा नाम हो रहा है। करते हो तुम ओ दादा, मेरा नाम हो रहा है। दादा तेरी कृपा से सब काम हो रहा है, सब काम हो रहा है, सब काम हो रहा है। दादा श्याम।
Dada Sham, let us now sing for all those whose birthdays are in this week. वादाई हो वादाई, जिगर को वादाई, वादाई हो वादाई, जिगर को वादाई, करे सिमरन सेवा करे जीवन सजाई, करे सिमरन सेवा करे जीवन सजाई, वादाई हो वादाई, जतिन को वादाई, वादाई हो वादाई, जतिन को वादाई, करे सिमरन सेवा करे जीवन सजाई, करे सिमरन सेवा करे जीवन सजाई, वादाई हो वादाई, सारे संगत को वादाई, वादाई हो वादाई, सारे संगत को वादाई, करे सिमरन सेवा करे जीवन सजाई. Let us now remember Mr. Gangaram Ashpal, whose 95th birth anniversary falls today. As we sit in silence, Dada Sham.
Dada Sham, our next flight to Faith Satsang will be on the 4th Friday, 24th December. Do join us, same time, same place. Avajiti vihari tu, Vazul nuri nihari tu, shukriya hai, shukriya tujo. Shukr aahe, shukr tuinjo, shukr aahe, shukr tuinjo, shukr aahe, shukr tuinjo. Baba jite vihari tu, Vazul nuri nihari tu, shukriya hai, shukr, shukriya hai, shukr, shukriya hai, shukr. Dada Sham.